And I'm going to do one song, although it'll be preceded by a poem by Bertolt Brecht that's probably almost as long as the song. And I'm thinking about it because as I look back on the last several weeks, I've been just taken by the number of songs that this group has come up with that have to do with the current situation. We are in dark times, as Bertolt Brecht used to say, whether it's Minneapolis or other aspects of the national and world scene, and writing these and singing these important songs about the current situation is important, and I'm glad to be part of that. Bertolt Brecht kind of had a different view when he said, "Truly, I live in dark times." He was talking about the rise of fascism. This was Germany right before Hitler came to power, and when Hitler came to power, Brecht had to leave. He left. That's when he left Germany. And he had a very strong kind of opinion about what kinds of songs were appropriate in the era in which fascism seemed to be at the door. He said, a conversation about trees is almost a crime because it involves a silence about so many misdeeds. And we certainly live in an era of many, many misdeeds. He's called the poet of dark times, Brecht said. And so what I did with a song of mine is I decided for the last verse I would just take some Brecht stuff about living in the dark times. And I stuck that in the last verse. But the poem that I want to do is Brecht talking about where he comes from and how he sees things. And he may have been in a period not unlike our own, you might say. I, Bertolt Brecht, come from the Black Forest. My mother carried me to town while in her womb I lay, and still the coldness of the woods lingers and shall be with me until my dying day. I am at home on pavement from the beginning, well provided with extreme unction, sacraments of newspaper, tobacco, and likewise brandy. Mistrustful, lazy, yet in the end content. I make friends with people. I wear a derby on my head as the others do, and I say, they are strangely stinking animals. And I say, no matter, I am too. Forenoons in my rocking chair I sit between a couple of women days on end, and I gaze upon them carelessly and say, here you have a man on whom you cannot depend. I gather some fellows round me toward evening. We address each other as gentlemen. They put their feet up on my table and they say, things will improve. But I don't ask when. Toward morning, the fir trees piss in the gray light and their vermin, the birds, begin to cheep. Around this hour in town, I knock out my pipe, I empty my glass, and unquietly I sleep. A fickle race, we live in houses said to be built indestructibly. As we reared the tall buildings of Manhattan Island and the thin antennae that spanned the Atlantic Sea, there shall remain of these cities but the wind that blew through them. The full pantry made the guests merry. They ate it bare. And when they ask me, if in the earthquakes to come I will let bitterness quench my cigar's glow, I say, no, not Bertolt Brecht. Astray in cement cities, brought from the woods in my mother, long, long ago. At the center of the universe, where I go when I hurt, and again when I feel fine, I touch base for a little time. At the center of the universe, where I go when I hurt, the center of the universe, center of the universe, for eternity I rehearse, center of the universe. At the center of the universe, things get better when they can't get worse. A quiet pond, a stately pine, a different sense of space and time. At the center of the universe, a meadow grand as any church, the center of the universe, center of the universe. Senses fill and joy will burst at the center of the universe. In the dark times, will there be singing? There will be singing of the dark times. At the center of the universe, where I go when I hurt, center of the universe, center of the universe, for eternity I rehearse, center of the universe. In the dark times, will there be singing? There will be singing of the dark times.
Nice, Jim.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Pretty profound.
Thank you, thank you.
Love that. I was right there in the center of the universe with you.
Whoa, that's the place to be.
It's a dangerous brain.
That song is a good compliment to Joanne's song that she sang. It's just sort of, I don't know, kind of that same feeling. It's just, it makes me really feel emotional. You did it. That was wonderful.
You're absolutely right. That's interesting to think of it that way.
And Brecht was right. They are singing of the dark times.
Yeah. Bad Bunny was singing of the dark times, right?
Right.